Makers teaming up and beating them by a score of 2-1. So Redeemer Z and Vash putting in that work, and now they're really going to have to get their punch cards and clock in against Uno and 6WX.
Yes, of course. So I guess starting stage is probably just going to end up on something like I think Battlefield for this. For these
I'd say you're right.
set of characters. Now they're putting their names in right now, but this isn't really a matchup that's been foreseen because West and Uno really didn't start. Like West didn't really start coming out to Bears consistently until like the middle of 2016, late 2016, and Vash kind of dipped from the scene, or started his dip from the scene in like the beginning of 2016. And Marcus has been around for a while, but he hasn't really been active lately. So I don't know how these matches are going to look now based on before. It's gonna be interesting to watch. For sure.
So just an update on elsewhere in the bracket. We do have Brooke and Josh moving on to losers round 3 after beating Yoda Cage and Summer Hayes, who seemed like a halfway decent tournament, but just really halfway decent games on stream. Just could not really get any sort of momentum in terms of getting those last few kills. It's a kind of a shame for them, but nonetheless, Spiro and 10 are facing Clam, Hat, and Burr in losers round 2 action. GWJ and Travesty facing Joker and First Class Will. That's going to be a tough one. Then Autumn and Ruggs wound up beating Sandy Frog and Twananite, and beating they are playing OK and JRX, who were sent down 2 losers by Uno and 6WX. So going to be an interesting matchup that we see here, especially with Redeemer Z involved. Very accomplished doubles player. Wouldn't say a doubles specialist, but that's certainly where he makes himself the most prevalent, at least nowadays.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. So here comes the teams. Now, I did predict Battlefield, but that might change just based on the characters. But
well, it's the familiar Joker skin that we see from 6WX.
Yeah, that is his favorite skin on this mod pack. He will constantly use that. He loves Persona 5. I love Persona 5. It's a good game.
I love the soundtrack personally.
It's a good soundtrack.
I need to actually play the game.
Yeah, soundtrack is exceptional. Gameplay's pretty good.
Yeah,
if you like turn-based RPGs, but
I love them.
All right, cool.
Yeah, hey, Golden Sun's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm playing Pokemon Sapphire on my stream. What do you want, dude?
All right, so
speaking of games I love, Splatoon soundtrack.
Man, shout out to that. Anyway, game 1 here on Smashville. This is looking pretty simple. My man is playing air guitar over here. Yeah, no, I love this song. I'm so glad the Inklings are in Smash Ultimate so we can get this music too. Makes me very happy.
I was actually breaking out the air keyboard too.
Yeah, man, you're rocking out over there, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking of making it a keytar, but we're gonna hold off on that. We're not gonna go full 80s just yet.
Ooh, and
oh my goodness, a full F smash from Uno
chase
though.
On the platform right there. Amazing stuff coming out from Uno.
And it's amazing. I mean, a gentleman who used to be PR himself in Uno. I mean, his instincts have just not dulled one bit.
Not at all.
You got to think with 6WX, he has not been present here at the laboratory for quite some time. The last time he was, though, wound up ending Juice's 49-match undefeated streak.
Oh yeah.
Here earlier in the summer, that wound up extending into the autumn, and so he obviously he's pretty fresh right now.
Oh yeah, of course. Redeemer Z fishing for up smash a little bit too hard. Does end up getting pulled off the stage. Wow, let's jump bear, but Vash was just in the way. He ended up getting hit. So now it's down 2 more stocks for red team.
He can really move, and he's got an attitude. 6WX, the fastest thing alive.
The fastest thing alive, man. It's gonna be even faster. 1 week.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Oh, and rolls over his own teammate there, although to not too much effect.
Wow, I think that actually would have hit Uno. Oh no, that was awkward. Yeah, Uno did not air dodge, so that would have hit, but the hitbox barely just did not connect, and he ended up killing SDing as a result. Unfortunate for Redeemer Z there, but now they are down by 3 stocks. This is not looking good.
Yeah, not the best of situations to be in, all things considered.
Not at all. They are definitely getting a little bit of press to neutral here. They're not really trying to work together. They're trying to do like a separation 1v1 strategy. But against players as strong as 6WX and Uno, that's not really going to work out the way you want it.
Pretty ill-advised, although that up smash certainly going to work out the way Redeemer Z wants. He will take the first stock, finally, off of 6WX. Who, frankly, this whole team is just looking so strong even after that back air from Redeemer Z to take the second stock off of Uno.
I agree.
I mean, can anyone – the thing is can anyone even touch 6WX right now? He is playing so well, and it's a rather defensive game, frankly, but he's getting his licks in, and he's not doing half bad.
Yeah, but he is getting hit a little bit more. The red team has made a decisive action to oppress Wes with his extra stock and just get Uno out of the way if he ever tries to defend him. I like the strategy because now Wes is just getting oppressed. He's getting put in the air. He's just trying to get away, but it's just not working.
Getting ganged up on.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Well, just like that, it's going to be Redeemer Z who's getting ganged up on, as he's the only one remaining here as referee Mario, obviously, from Punch-Out, the original ones. Oh, and that forward air is going to take it.
Yeah, he was DIing off stage. Unfortunate for him, and he is going to die to that fair, and that will be game one. A bit of a turnaround for red team, but blue team was definitely ahead in terms of momentum and in terms of stocks. So
I mean, they were ahead from pillar to post, let's be completely honest, but at the same time, it's not like they were playing poorly either with Redeemer Z and Vash. So what do they need to do in game number 2 to at least make sure that the gap is not as wide in terms of the stock advantage?
Well, by the end of that match, they were definitely doing a much better job of keeping Wes down and keeping him from being able to do anything, because he was definitely the stock tank of the team. Uno was the one that went in, and Wes was the one who was just trying to hold on to the stock. Since he's the fastest character on the team, he's more liable to be able to get away from bad situations. So he was holding all the stocks, but they, at the very end of the game, too little too late, of course, but they were able to keep him down in neutral and to keep Uno out for long enough to get the damage in, but they just couldn't do it in time. So if they're able to employ this strategy correctly before Wes and Uno can adapt properly, then I think they can take this game.
They're going to have to read some of Wes's movements a little bit more, because, frankly, it's not like they weren't getting them at a halfway decent percentage at some point, but they just could not get the up smashes, forward smashes that they needed, that Lucina and Mario rely on so much in neutral to get their kills. And catching them in the air may not be an option, especially here as we are going cruising for game number 2.
Oh yeah,
hoping for some stage jank here, and who could blame them?
Game number 2 coming through on Lilac Cruise.
A stage you love.
Yeah, a stage that I love to talk about on Twitter specifically. But moving on, game 2 on Lilac Cruise. Now this stage is not a bad counter pick for either of the characters, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like the weirdness factors. I think these platforms are pretty good for Diddy as well. So I don't think this was the best pick per se. Maybe Battlefield would have been just as good, but I don't know. This isn't an awful idea in terms of characters and functionality. And
wow. That forward smash, never a bad idea to forward smash your opponent in the face.
Never a bad idea at all. But yeah, this is looking marginally worse for red team, losing that stock before either member of blue team even hit 60%. But now Uno, Wes almost in kill percent. He just needs a little bit more, and he will be in kill percent from at least Mario. But Vash having just a lot of trouble, like just doing anything in dubs. Actually, he's just kind of getting oppressed. He's getting team comboed across the stage. Every time he pushes the button, he's getting punished. Just really solid play from blue team.
Yeah, no, it's they're doing a really good job of employing that old tag team wrestling strategy. You split the ring in half and make your half the one where all the action happens.
Oh yeah.
So as we think about that here, you think about how really Uno and 6WX are just Uno and 6WX are doing some work and really trying to grab the bull by the horns here. They're both at 120%, obviously, but they're hanging on. They have 6 stocks.
Yeah, Vash having, once again, like I said earlier, still having a bunch of trouble. And I feel like Marcus is doing a better job than him, but Vash is doing a not-so-great job of covering him when he's in disadvantage. So Vash just ends up leading to Marcus's demise, and that's why he's ending up dying first. Like, blue team knows that he's more of a threat, but Vash is just not doing a good idea of protecting him. That being said, though, he does take that stock off of Diddy, and it's looking slightly better for them, but Vash 1 hit away from dying.
True, and that up smash is not going to do it. There's gravity in the vacuum of space. Figure that out, folks.
Yeah, how does that work?
That's why you wanted it banned, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Ooh, and that's going to do it for Vash's second stock, and you're absolutely right.
Oh, and he caught the jump with the first hit of forward air.
No.
Smart stuff. He ended up falling to his demise after losing his jump to one of the smallest hit stun moves in the game. Sonic multi-hits of forward air. Unfortunate for Marcus, but that is going to lead to his stock, and now it's just up to Vash, who has not been playing super well in this set. So it's looking like a wrap for now.
I would agree. I mean, just all over the place. You're dealing with two pretty much PR players.
Yeah, okay. I definitely thought that up air was going to kill him, but not quite so. Vash still has a chance here. Oh, but he just runs right into a throw with armor on it. I don't agree with that at all. Down to up smash, and if he bared...
The tilt of the stage may be benefiting Vash there. And it's going to be he who receives the windfall, although not quite sure his ships come in here. He's still in disadvantage.
That was good DI on the throw from Vash.
These stage tilts are kind of messing up blue team right now.
Okay.
And,
what a trade right there. Unfortunately, not able to tech the goofy side of Lilac Cruz, and he will lose that stock, and that will be a 2-0 for Uno and 6WX. Very clean. Very, very clean.
Exactly. No, I mean, that would seem to be sort of a preset notion there. At the very least, just because, I mean, Uno and 6WX, they were dominant. Let's just not even have any reservations about that. They dominated that particular match.
Yeah, I'm not beating around the bush. That was not close. That was not close at all, especially for Game 2. At Game 2, they just hard adjusted, and West